Welcome to the Omni Dental Podcast, and welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really getting into something that affects, well, probably a lot of us who love our little daily luxuries. Teeth whitening, specifically for coffee and wine drinkers. You know the feeling, right? You love that morning coffee, that evening glass of wine, but the stains they leave behind, yellow, brown, it's frustrating. So our mission today, cut through all the noise and give you a really clear, actionable plan for keeping that smile bright. We'll cover prevention, home remedies, professional stuff, all tailored for this lifestyle.
And understanding the why behind those stains is key. That's something we delve into daily here at Omni Dental in Arlington Heights. We're a family practice focused on comprehensive care. So general dentistry, but also cosmetic services like, well, teeth whitening. Dr. Billis Poles leads the practice. We're here to help guide you through the science of it all.
Perfect perspective. Okay, let's unpack the chemistry first. It feels like stains happen almost instantly sometimes. What is it about coffee and red wine that makes them so, I guess, good at staining teeth?
Well, it's really a bit of a triple threat, especially with red wine. Both coffee and red wine have tannins. Now, tannins are these organic compounds, highly colored, and they're kind of sticky. Think of them like a primer for paint. They get into the tiny little grooves on your enamel.
So the tannins basically prep the surface for the color.
Precisely. They create that rougher, receptive surface, and then the pigments come along. But red wine, that's the big one. Because it has tannins, deep pigments, and natural acids.
Ah, the acid. That's the kicker.
Exactly. The acids, they temporarily soften the enamel, just slightly open up its microscopic structure, and that makes it way easier for those dark pigments to really sink in and grab hold. It's just a tough combo for a white smile. It's got the sticking power, the deep color, and the enamel being temporarily vulnerable all at once.
That vulnerability part brings up something important the sources mentioned. We're not just talking about one kind of stain, are we?
No, definitely not. And this is really crucial for you, the listener, to understand, because how you treat it depends entirely on the type of stain. Generally, we talk about two main types. First, you have surface stains, or extrinsic stains. These are pigments just clinging to the very outer layer of the enamel. Pretty common and usually easier to deal with using polishing, things like that. Then there's the second type, the real headache, intrinsic stains. This happens with, long-term, frequent drinking without really good hygiene in between. The acids and pigments actually work their way deeper into the tooth structure itself. Once that color is inside the dentin or deeper enamel, it gets locked in. Yellow, brown, surface polishing just won't reach it.
Right.
That's when you need, well, professional help. Chemical intervention, really.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So the goal is consistent daily defense to try and keep those stains on the surface, keep them extrinsic. We're not saying give up the coffee or wine, but we need to disrupt the process. What are the top, daily things we can actually do right away?
Disruption is exactly the word. We usually recommend 5 key habits. It's all about minimizing contact and neutralizing that acid quickly.
Okay, let's hear number 1.
First, use a straw. Sounds simple, maybe a bit weird for wine, I know.
Yeah, I was going to say, drinking red wine through a straw in public feels a bit odd. Does that little bit of bypass really make a difference?
Oh, it absolutely helps.
Yeah.
Think about where stains show up most, usually those front upper teeth, right? A straw helps funnel the liquid past those surfaces more towards the back. It's about protecting your investment in your smile.
Protecting the investment. I like that way of putting it. Okay, what's habit number 2? Easy one.
Second, and this one's huge, really non-negotiable. Rinse immediately. After you finish your coffee, your wine, whatever, swish really well with plain water. Simple step, 2 big benefits. Washes away loose pigments hanging around, and maybe even more importantly, it helps neutralize the acid right away. Stops that temporary enamel softening in its tracks.
Low effort, high impact. I like it. Okay, what about brushing? We know regular brushing is key, but there's a catch, isn't there?
Yes, that's our third point, strategic brushing. Regular brushing with a whitening toothpaste. Absolutely. Helps polish away minor surface stuff. But, and this is critical, don't brush immediately after drinking something acidic like wine or even soda.
Ah, right. Why is that such a hard rule?
Because when the acid has temporarily softened that enamel, brushing right away can actually be too abrasive. You're essentially scrubbing away slightly weakened tooth structure. We generally say wait at least 30 minutes. Give your saliva a chance to do its job. Remineralize, let the enamel firm back up a bit.
Wait 30 minutes after the wine before brushing. Okay, that's a really key detail. What's number 4?
Fourth, schedule cleanings. Don't underestimate professional maintenance. Plaque, That sticky film. It holds on to stains like crazy. Regular cleanings, usually every 6 months, get rid of that hardened plaque and tartar, and they polish away minor stains before they get a chance to penetrate and become intrinsic.
Intercepting them early. Got it. And the fifth tip involves food, I think.
It does. Fifth one is kind of a tasty defense, strategic wine pairing. When you're having wine, pair it with things like cheese or crunchy foods, things celery, apples, nuts. Chewing gets saliva flowing, which naturally neutralizes acid. Plus, cheese is great. The calcium can help buffer the pH in your mouth, protecting the enamel.
Huh. So good dental health is just another excuse for a better cheese board. I can get behind that. Okay, perfect. Now let's shift gears. What about folks who already have some mild staining? They're ready to try something at home. What are the good options? And importantly, what should we realistically expect?
Right, at-home options are definitely useful tools, but mainly for maintenance or for tackling, fairly light extrinsic stains. The key thing to understand is their limitation. They use low concentrations of the active whitening agent, usually hydrogen peroxide. It's regulated. So they just don't have the power to get at those deep intrinsic stains. You got a few levels. Whitening toothpaste is the mildest. Mostly gentle abrasives, polishing agents. They scrape off the very surface pigments. Great for keeping results looking good, but they won't dramatically whiten your teeth several shades.
Okay, and then the common ones, the strips and gels we see everywhere.
Whitening gels and strips, yeah. Those are the next step up. They do contain a low dose of hydrogen peroxide, so they can lift surface stains that are a bit deeper than what toothpaste alone can handle. They're designed for gradual, moderate improvement over time.
But let's say someone has those really set-in, maybe years-old stains from drinking coffee every day. Are they just wasting money on those over-the-counter strips?
Honestly, pretty much yes. If you have true intrinsic stains discoloration deep inside the tooth, those strips are just working on the surface. They won't touch the core problem. And then you get discouraged, right? You think, whitening doesn't work for me. But really, the product just wasn't strong enough to penetrate and break down those deep pigments.
That's such a critical point, matching the treatment to the type of stain. Which brings us to the heavy hitters. For those stubborn, long-term, intrinsic coffee and wine stains, what can professional treatment do that DIY just can't?
Professional care comes down to three things, really: speed, precision, and power. The big difference is the concentration of the whitening agent. We use professional strength whitening gels, much stronger hydrogen peroxide concentrations than anything you can buy yourself. That strength lets us break down those deep intrinsic stain molecules, oxidizing them quickly and effectively.
Okay, so if I come into Omni Dental for whitening, what are the actual tangible benefits compared to just grabbing another box of strips?
Well, there are four main advantages we see. First, obviously, stronger results, and they last much longer. The concentration gets you results in maybe an hour that can take weeks or even months of inconsistent home use to achieve, if you even get there. Second, and this makes a huge difference for evenness, custom trays. Unlike those one-size-fits-all strips that can bunch up or miss spots.
Yeah, they never quite fit right.
Exactly. Custom trays are molded perfectly to your teeth. So two things happen. The gel covers every part of the tooth evenly. No patchiness, and really importantly, it keeps that strong gel on the teeth and off your gums, preventing irritation.
Ah, that makes sense, especially with stronger chemicals. It's crucial. And that leads to the third benefit. Safe application, monitored by us. We put protective barriers on your gums and lips to shield them from the peroxide. Trying high-concentration stuff unsupervised? Risky. We make sure it's safe and comfortable. And lastly, it's just plain effective and fast. Got a wedding, big presentation, special event coming up. Professional whitening delivers a really noticeable brightness boost, often in just one visit. It works quickly when you need it to.
Okay, so we've done it. Inventive at the time, maybe the money. Got that brilliant white smile. Now the big question, how do we protect it? Especially if we're going right back to our coffee and wine habits.
Maintenance mode kicks in immediately after treatment. There's this critical window, and if you ignore it, you can undo a lot of the good work very quickly. The absolute biggest rule is the 48-hour rule. We can't stress this enough. Right after professional whitening, your teeth are temporarily more porous. Think of them like little sponges, super ready to absorb moisture and color.
So any dark liquid just gets sucked right in, pretty much. That's why, for at least 48 hours post-whitening, you absolutely have to avoid coffee, red wine, dark sodas, black tea, even deeply colored foods like tomato sauce, berries, chocolate. Stick to clear liquids and white or light-colored foods. Water, milk, plain chicken, rice, pasta without red sauce. Protect that investment while the pores close back up.
48 hours of a white diet. Got it. Okay, and then long term, once we're past that window.
Long term, it's back to basics, but with real consistency. First, brush and floss daily. Keep that plaque layer minimal because plaque grabs stains. Second, you can use touch-up whitening kits. We often provide these professionally. They use a milder gel than the in-office stuff, but they're customized to your trays and are great for maintaining brightness over time. A little boost now and then. And of course, keep up with those regular dental cleanings and checkups. We catch minor surface stains early, polish them off before they darken and set in. It just extends the life of your whitening results.
This has been super helpful. It really seems like keeping a white smile, even with coffee and wine, is totally doable. It just takes strategy, right? Knowing the stain type, having those preventative habits like the 30-minute wait, and then using professional help when needed for the deep stuff.
Absolutely. And if you were looking for those top-tier, safe, effective whitening results here in the area, Omni Dental in Arlington Heights has the technology. Dr. Billis Poles has well over a decade specializing in cosmetic dentistry, including this.
And you serve the whole surrounding community too, not just Arlington Heights.
That's right. We provide comprehensive dental care, general, cosmetic, even aesthetic services like Botox and hydrofacials for patients all around. Buffalo Grove, Palatine, Mount Prospect, Rolling Meadows, Schaumburg, Wheeling, Des Plaines, and Elk Grove Village, too. Healthy smiles, beautiful smiles. So maybe here's something to chew on, pardon the pun. If those surface stains can often be handled with just good polishing and brushing habits, while intrinsic stains need that strong peroxide, how often is the real solution just tweaking your brushing timing or being strict about that 48-hour rule after a touch-up versus needing the full-on professional treatment? It really comes back to knowing, truly knowing, what kind of stain you're actually fighting.